But anyway, after that, Orton came out and demanded that Christian would come out here and confront him because Orton was pissed after the concussion that he suffered from Sheamus the week before in SmackDown. And remember, we do have SmackDown Superstars because this is WWE Raw All-Stars episode. So we had both Raw and SmackDown members out here for the show. And Orton went on and on and on and on, kept trying to get Christian out here. Now, one line that I thought was actually pretty funny was Orton went on to tell Christian, Edge has been carrying you for 17 years. What's one more day? Why don't you try giving that or something like that? He said. I actually thought it was pretty funny. It actually made me start to laugh. But that was pretty much it. Security, Christian ended up coming out, inching his way up to the ring, and security came out and stopped him. And then the Raw GM, by the way, I thought Austin was the GM for this episode. And he came out and said that Orton's not allowed to confront Christian or something like that. And if he does, he will be stripped of his World Heavyweight Championship, which I thought was kind of weird because technically he does not have any jurisdiction, with Theodore Long being the general manager of SmackDown. But all in all, I don't know why the Raw GM came on. I thought it was actually kind of stupid. The Raw GM actually went on, I think later on in the show, I don't know if it was at that point, to say that he will be returning next week as the Raw GM. And I actually skipped the part here where Hornswoggle came out and was shooting T-shirts to the fans out in the audience when R-Truth comes out without the music, with the Truth Shall Set You Free line, and he came walking out. Talk about all the little Jimmies, which that still kind of cracks me up. But R-Truth with the heel turn, I think that was a really good move for him. His character wasn't really going anywhere. I mean, he was stuck in the mid-card with feuds that didn't really make any sense. I'm very glad they went the heel turn with him. And yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. He eventually got to Hornswoggle and was trying to tell him, "Oh, I'm your buddy. I'll be your buddy, little Jimmy. I'll be your buddy." And Hornswoggle actually shot the T-shirt gun at R-Truth. When R-Truth went to go give him a hug, I believe he kicked Hornswoggle in the face and knocked him out of the ring. At that point, I was jumping out of my chair, jumping for joy, cheering for R-Truth. And that was pretty much the end of that. I believe he went on to scenes through the last week, but I'm not exactly sure. I do not remember that. But then we had, after that all happened with the Orton and Christian, Austin came out and announced a Christian versus Rey Mysterio match, which was, I thought, had potential for a very good match when it was only a huge disappointment. The match lasted about 3 or 4 minutes, I think, and the ending was just god awful. It didn't make sense. I mean, earlier in the show, we had Del Rio getting disqualified because he didn't break the cross arm breaker on Kane, and in this match, Christian wouldn't break a hold with Mysterio after the count of 5, which gave Mysterio the victory by disqualification. That just didn't make any sense whatsoever. And after that, they went to a pretty funny segment with Austin, with Ziggler and Vicky Guerrero ended up confronting him, and Vicky Guerrero demanded that Dolph Ziggler, I believe, gets a USA title shot. And Austin went on saying, blah, 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 Ziggler, I will give you the title shot if you drop Vicky Guerrero as a manager, you fire her, blah, 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 blah. And after all, Vicky got all worked up after saying all of that. It ended up, Austin just said, I already booked the match, it was no problem, no, I'm just messing with you guys, ha ha ha. It was a time filler. I thought it was creative, it was a little different. It was kind of a pointless skit, but oh well. And later, that's right, earlier in Truth, Stone Cold Steve Austin announced that there would be, John Morrison would be making his return against R-Truth tonight. I didn't think Morrison was supposed to return for a little while yet. I thought he was still kind of messed up. Or was he messed up? I don't remember. I could have sworn because I thought he was gone for a while. I don't remember. And Truth came out. Morrison would not answer his entrance music, so Truth went backstage to look for Morrison. And as he did, he found Morrison lying on the ground. My guess is Truth knocked him out before. They never really explained what happened, but my guess would be Truth they supposedly made it look like Truth beat the hell out of Morrison before the match. one part that actually made me laugh quite a bit was when Truth took the, I believe it was like a equipment box, and smashed it into Morrison. Truth yells, "Take that, little Jimmy." That's really started to make me laugh. I got a good chuckle out of it. But anyway, in the next match, it was a tag team match that was just another time filler to me. I don't even remember who won the match, actually. It was Kofi Kingston and Bourne, whatever the high flyer dude I never pay attention to, versus Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler. I believe Kingston and Bourne won this with Bourne going up the top rope doing his signature move and pinning, I think it was Swagger for the 1-2-3. But after this segment came Piper's Pit with Alex Riley. I think it was Alex Riley came on first, and he actually got a huge pop from the crowd, which Alex Riley's music is actually really good. They really need to start pushing Alex Riley a bit more, in my opinion. But moving on, Miz ended up coming up. They all went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It eventually got to the point of, I believe it was Miz challenging Piper for a match for $1,000 where each wrestler put up. And Piper was kind of contemplating. He looked hesitant, looked like he didn't want to do it, and all of a sudden he just popped out in typical old-fashioned Rowdy Piper and goes, $5,000, let's do this right now. So the match began, and of course, Alex Riley was announced for the special guest referee as Austin made the match official. Piper ended up beating Miz with the help of Alex Riley, and the match was official. Piper beat the Miz for $5,000. And then we had a 7-on-7 Divas tag team matchup. Yeah, if you saw Raw, I don't need to say more, especially what happened with Eve Torres after the match, after the babyface Divas beat the heels. They did a weird dance thing, and it was just not that good. It was awful. If you want to watch women wrestling, go to watch TNA and watch the Knockouts wrestle. At least they're kind of make things interesting. And after that, we came with a backstage segment between Punk and Austin. These two got great chemistry together. I'd love to see something down the road with a Punk versus Austin match, maybe something for SummerSlam, maybe building up for something like that. But Punk at one point asked Austin if he could, because Punk was not happy with seeing Austin drink, Punk in his straight edge style. Austin eventually asked him if he wanted a beer, vodka, something, whiskey, blah, blah, blah. So Punk went on to ask Austin, Austin, can you do the alphabet for me backwards? And Austin goes, no, but I can whoop your ass backwards. And that was actually a really funny line. This was probably one of my favorite parts of the night. These two definitely work well together. I'd love to see more of this in the future, if Austin will come back anymore. And then Austin comes out says he's got a huge announcement coming up after the break. He comes out and announces that this is what I'm hoping for, that he's going to challenge Punk for a match somewhere down the road in some big pay-per-view. But he comes out and announces that next Monday will be another 3-hour episode where the people pick the matches, the stipulations, and all that stuff. And so it's just going to be like a Taboo Tuesday, Cyber Sunday type of deal, I would think. But after all that was said and done, the GM kept chiming in, and Cole will go to answer it. Austin told him to shut up. I'll get it. Something like that. Austin went over to the laptop, slammed it on the ground, popped open a good old Keystone Light, and just poured it right over the GM's laptop. Very good stuff. Austin goes out on his four-wheeler. And that was pretty much all you'd see with Austin the other night, I believe. Let me see what else I got here. And then after that, we brought in the Capital Punishment commercial with the Obama skit with all the WWE superstars. Thank God we will not be seeing that anymore. That was driving me nuts. So after that came out the Cena versus CM Punk match. It all started, as soon as both people came out, we started with the Cena sucks and the Let's Go Cena chants, and right away Michael Cole just got annoyed by him. And this was actually an okay match. R-Truth ended up sort of interfering by standing out in the crowd, greeting all the little Jimmies out there and all that good stuff. Ended up taking a hat from a little Jimmy to taunt Cena. Cena was looking at him, just yelling at him no. CM Punk gets up, spins Cena around, puts him into the GTS to go to sleep, and that would be it for Cena 1, 2, 3. Not quite often you see Cena lose without there being a disqualification.